Welcome to Being Understood. Today we're talking about energy affordability and access. Joining us today to dive in a little more about Minnesota's leadership role in energy, as well as some of the recent federal actions impacting affordability, we're joined today by Deputy Commissioner Pete Wyckoff. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with the big picture. What is the Department of Commerce's role in regulating energy and, more importantly, ensuring affordability for Minnesotans?
Well, thanks. I'm Deputy Commissioner of Commerce. I run what's called the Division of Energy Resources. And I don't think we're famous. We're in the Commerce Department. Other states have energy departments. So I want you to know we exist. And the thing I will point out is that the Division of Energy Resources in Minnesota is really two things. It is what in many states is called the State Energy Office. Here we call it the Division of Federal and State Energy Initiatives. And what that does is it does pretty much what that boring name describes. It takes monies that have been allocated by the federal government or through the state government for state programs and sets up programs as they are mandated by those programs guiding legislation. The biggest one we run is something called the Energy Assistance Program that is actually federally funded. The other biggest one we run is something called the Weatherization Assistance Program, also federally funded, but there's some state funding in there too. That, rather than the energy assistance, which helps you with your acute problem of paying your bills, that is focused on taking Minnesota residences and making it so their bills aren't as high going forward by making them more efficient. So that's one side of our shop. They do a lot. And I didn't even get through more than just the tip of the iceberg of what the State Energy Office does or the Division of Federal and State Energy Initiatives. But we have an entire other side of our shop, which is the regulatory side of the shop. And that works primarily with the Public Utilities Commission, which essentially is a court. And we go there as basically state's attorney, arguing what is in the best interest for Minnesotans and Minnesota ratepayers. And we argue that we need an electric and natural gas system at the Public Utilities Commission. We argue that is affordable, is reliable, the lights have to come on, and that is increasingly clean. And the reason we are there, the reason the PUC exists in that way, Public Utilities Commission exists in that way, is it's not for rural electric co-ops. It's not for if you're served by a municipal utility, but if you're served by the big ones, Xcel, CenterPoint Energy, Minnesota Power, Otter Tail Power, those are for-profit companies that are run as essentially a monopoly. You don't get to choose who you have. So the state has an interest and an obligation to intervene on your behalf and making sure that if Xcel raises its rates, they're justified. And we need to keep them as low as possible. If Xcel is building something new, then it's the right thing to build. So that's what my regulatory team does. We also work on that side of the Division of Energy Resources on things like energy security, reliability, keeping cyber criminals out, keeping physically the energy assets safe. So we do a lot of different things.